I'm Darren.
I'm Derek.
And this is the Double D Podcast.
Back at it again.
Yep.
Finally with the review. We missed the Morris Hill review because somebody wasn't at the show and refused. I tried so many times and he refused. He said, I'm not doing it. I wasn't there for it. We couldn't get it done.
I was out getting money.
So we didn't do that, but we're back doing this one. And we have some very cool interviews coming up. You guys won't want to miss that. But before we get into all that, of course, Happy New Year's. Hope you guys had a great holiday season with Christmas or whatever it is that you may celebrate. Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it may be. Hope it was
what the heck's a Kwanzaa?
It's a holiday that some people celebrate. All those holidays. New Year's Eve was a great show. New Year's Eve bash.
Mm-hmm.
Great way to end the year and start 2025. And we know 2025 is going to be a great year for Battle on the Border as well.
Oh, yeah.
Got a lot of great shows coming up, and we'll talk about the next one that is coming up at the end of this podcast, so make sure you stick around to hear what that show will bring. We're recording this officially a little over a week out from that show, so by the time this comes up, it'll be in a couple days. We'll have a ticket link below for the Sunman Showdown as well. But we got to review New Year's Eve.
Yes.
New Year's Eve Bash, great show. One of my favorite shows of the year is always, I compare it to Battle on the Border's WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
All the stars come out. All the stars come out for it. The fans are always loud. They're into it. The action's always great. What was your thoughts on the show overall? I think it was one of the best shows of all time. And
overall, the attendance. It looked like there was a lot more in attendance at this one than there has been past years. Yeah. Which was pretty cool to see. Always nice to see growth. Yeah. So that's immediately from the whole show, that's what I caught the best. The attendance was... And just from a behind-the-scenes perspective, everything went smoother than it has in the past with ring issues. We didn't have any ring issues. Everything went up fine. Tear down was fine. Everything was great. Quickly fixed the mic issue that no one even noticed. Yeah. I didn't even notice it happened. I got a haircut, by the way. Yeah, he got his haircut off. No more long hair. I'm growing mine out. Yeah, he's gonna grow a mullet now. No, switch. Not. But all right, let's jump into this show. No one came here to listen to us talk about haircuts. Fair. All right, people came to hear about the action. So December 31st, River's Edge, New Year's Eve Bash. Great show. It started off with the Hall of Fame induction. Of course, this year it was Doug Piles, who has passed away, Marty Jannetty, and Rick Toms, one of my favorite people in all of Battle on the Border. So they were doing their, and unfortunately Marty Jannetty could not be there due to a medical issue. But people were speaking about experiences with him and experiences with Rick and experiences with Doug Piles. And it was a really great ceremony and a great way to honor Doug, Marty, and Rick, who are all three very deserving of being in the Battle on the Border Hall of Fame. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, though, that did get cut short. Rick Toms was about to give his acceptance speech. He was the only one there to give the acceptance speech. We were all waiting to see it. We all love Rick. Everyone in the crowd loves Rick. Everyone was waiting to hear it. And then Ethan Evans, who I do have a lot of personal problems with, for some reason thought that he should be involved, and he cut Rick Toms off. He runs towards the ring, and then he starts trashing some of these legends. He was calling them has-beens, didn't even know who certain people were. I mean, he was being real rude. Yeah, it's, Now, what's your feelings about Ethan Evans? Because I don't know if we've ever really talked about, because we didn't talk about Morris Hill, and that's kind of been, that was his, come-out show as far as with the hardcore division is his new thing. What's your opinion about Ethan Evans? Because you kind of like people like him. Yeah, well, I don't know. As soon as you start hitting on Rick, though, that's crossing. That's a sore spot right there. It's crossing the line. I think he should probably just sit back in the locker room. So okay, well, there you go. Well, he should have, because guess what happened? Everybody got something because he went towards Brenda. Oh yeah, and he said something about Brenda and about her sons, and that was not the right thing to do. And she slapped him, not just once, but twice. And then after that happened, chaos broke loose. I don't even know who all got a hold of him. I think every single person in that ring got a hold of him. I mean, Wildcat Chris Harris, who was there, got something in on him. He was there to induct Rick Toms. Bobby Fulton got something. Shane Douglas hit him with something. Brandon Xavier hit him with something. I mean, there were people. Xavier hit him with a big slam of some sort. I don't even remember what that was. Everyone got something in on him. Ethan Evans was made to look like a fool, which he is one, so that makes sense. I mean, he was lucky that nobody had to take him out on a stretcher of that thing. It's lucky nobody in there with them. Yeah, really, honestly, I mean, he got the crap beat out of him. He has got more balls than he probably should have. I mean, it's kind of ironic because Rob Conway, who was also in the ring, this is what I'm talking about with the star-studded show. We just kind of glanced over who was all there. There was a star-studded cast in this ring. Rob Conway, who's also a Hall of Famer, was in this ring
And Rob Conway did something similar in the past. So it's kind of ironic that now Rob Conway is the one. He was like the young rookie who gets into the Hall of Famer's face. Now he's the one giving a young guy the work, giving him the works. I mean, he hit him with something too. It was chaos. Ethan Evans got hit with about 40 moves. Denham was holding him up at one point.
Denham's mom got a hit on him.
If you get hit from Denham's mom, you really messed up.
Oh yeah,
you
she's
really
a nice lady.
So yeah, I mean, he was made to look like a fool.
I thought somebody should have found a kendo stick and brought it out.
I'm surprised, honestly, that someone didn't throw one in there.
I thought about running a chair to Denham's mom.
Hit him with the chair. No, I mean, well, he crossed the line.
He got in her face.
Got in her face, said something about her son. I mean, you can't do that. You really can't. And like I said, though,
he ought to know better than that.
That's for me personally, for those that don't know, maybe you guys do, maybe you don't, but there's been, I'm a part of the training school. I'm trying to learn some stuff about wrestling, and I'm getting attacked ad nauseum from this dude. He just has no respect for anybody. He doesn't have respect for young guys or apparently veterans who deserve respect. He's attacked me multiple times. I'm fixing curtains. He's attacking me. I'm trying to do promos for shows to hype up his match that he was in, and he attacks me there. I mean,
the dude's a clown.
Yeah, he really does act like a clown sometimes. But don't worry. We'll get to that. He's involved in this show later. He's also involved in Sunman in a really big match. So we'll talk about him again. But once again, congratulations to all of the Hall of Famers who were there, all the past Hall of Famers who were there. It was an absolutely great, it was great to see Rick. And by the way, Rick did give us a shout out during his acceptance speech, which he did not have to do.
No, he didn't have to do it at all.
We really do appreciate that. So if Rick watches these, or if someone knows Rick personally, just let him know we said thank you again. It was very nice of him. Doug Piles, rest in peace. He definitely deserved it. He contributed a lot to the Indiana shows.
Yep.
And Marty Jannetty is a legend who I'm hoping is better. I haven't heard anything, which that they say no news is good news. So hope he's doing better, and hopefully we can see him again in the future.
Oh, for sure.
But don't worry, this is not where the Hall of Fame segment ends. Like, this doesn't end here, because Shane Douglas was still in the ring, and Brandon Xavier tried to attack Shane Douglas.
Yep.
I mean, he got on him, and he didn't want no part of the smoke, though.
No.
He didn't want to match with him.
No.
He just wanted to attack him. Just wanted to get him while he wasn't looking.
Just being an ass.
Brandon Xavier has been in the past, maybe. He's been called worse, I believe. But Brandon Xavier tried to get one over on Shane, but he didn't want none of the smoke as far as the match goes. Instead, he threw some young guy in there to get, Here's a really great, a lot of people do this. You piss someone off a lot, and then they just throw someone in a match or throw themselves in a match and expect it to go well.
Well,
I mean, you've called it mind games in the past.
Yes.
I think it's not smart. That's what I think. So, who did Brandon Xavier call out? It's a guy named Colt Johnson. Colt Johnson was thrown to the Wolves here.
Yeah,
the
not sure exactly.
It didn't go well.
Where he came from.
It didn't go well. He came from the back.
He's a sneaky.
It didn't go well. Did not go well for Colt Johnson. Shane Douglas, Colt Johnson. It was a good match. I mean, Colt Johnson's a young guy. He's quick.
Oh, yeah.
He has the age. He has the not the experience, though. Right? And Shane Douglas. Shane Douglas is one of the toughest people in Battle on the Border, in my opinion. So it was a great match.
I've said a lot about that guy, but I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I mean, he's a tough son bitch. Let's just be honest.
Oh yeah,
tough son bitch. But it was a good match back and forth. There were some moments there where it looked like Colt Johnson may have gotten. I mean, maybe Brandon Xavier was right, getting Shane's head a little bit. You've said about it in the past,
but get in his head, try and work it a little bit.
It's that experience edge. Shane has been in much worse situations.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I mean, we just watched him have a dog collar wrapped around his neck.
Him and Brandon Day had a dog collar match.
I mean, that don't get any worse. If it gets worse than that, then there's a serious issue with wrestling.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. But listen, Shane Douglas did get the win over Colt Johnson. Now, this is an important victory for Shane because Shane lost to Jeff King, lost the hardcore title to Jeff King. I mean, he didn't have the title. It was a vacant one.
Yep.
He did not win the title. Jeff King did. He had been on kind of a little bit of a different streak because we started to see a different side of Shane. And we talked about it on the podcast before about was Shane returning to his own old roots.
Very, very pissed off Shane. And this is what we've been seeing.
This was him pissed off at his highest. And you see what happened with Colt Johnson. So the question is, what is next for Colt Johnson? We see Colt Johnson make his debut, I believe, here in Battle on the Border. So it's like, I mean, he kind of looked like he could be maybe a zero gravity guy.
He could go for anything.
I mean, but him and Brandon Xavier, maybe, I don't know.
They could go tag.
They could go tag. He could do anything.
And that's if Brandon Xavier wants to come back out and wrestle.
Right. So, I mean,
because
Sky's the limit. And Cole Johnson
I don't know, man.
He really did give Shane a tough. It wasn't like it was like a quick squash match, is what people say. This was a match that was it could have went Cole Johnson's way, and it looked like it was going to a couple times. So it's a name to keep an eye out for. Who knows what the future is for him? But Shane Douglas, what's the future for him? Because we've seen him wrestle in the hardcore division now for a while. He's been in some title matches. He hasn't come up with the hardcore title. He hasn't held the hardcore title in Battle on the Border. Which is
I think he's running and gunning for that title.
I mean, I really do too. And right now, at the moment of this match, Jeff King is the champion. He's defending the title later on against Hooks. I'm sure he's keeping an eye on who wins that match.
Oh yeah.
I don't think either way for Shane. It doesn't matter who wins for him. It's not like he's hoping for one of the.
I don't think it's going to discourage him from going after it anyways.
I think he wants to go after Jeff King just because Jeff King beat him. But I think it doesn't matter to him who wins.
No.
He wants that hardcore title. I believe that's his goal in Battle on the Border is to eventually get there. But I mean, hey, listen.
I could see it.
Shane could end up, world heavyweight champion. Shane, I do believe. I mean, I know Shane's an older gentleman, but the dude's tough.
Yeah, he may be older. He may be, 60? But he's still kicking.
Yeah.
He's still got plenty behind him.
And he's not slowing down anytime soon. So,
that Colt looked like he was probably around our age.
Yeah, he's a younger guy.
And he was keeping up just fine.
But it's hard to keep up with. I mean, Shane, he's one of my, being around Battle on the Border, he's one of my favorites.
No, I mean, Shane was keeping up just fine.
Oh, Shane was keeping up.
keeping up just fine.
That's what I'm saying.
That much of an age
he's
gap.
One of my
it's
favorites.
40-year age gap or something like that.
He's as good as he's ever been. I truly believe that, and that's saying something.
Yeah,
so
he's definitely. I figured he'd be retiring soon. And he's not showing any signs.
I'll tell you what, he's not going to retire until he's forced to, because the good Lord called him home.
Yeah.
And I'm just being honest. He's not going to retire until he literally can't wrestle anymore. He won't retire.
Be in a wheelchair.
Yeah, he would. You'd have to stop him.
The ring.
You'd have to stop him. So we'll see what's next for Shane. We'll see what's next for Colt Johnson. Who knows? But that's a great way to kick off the match, or the show. Anytime you start off with a Shane Douglas match, you're going to get a great show. Because, Shane, he can main event shows. If he's starting the night off, the rest of the night's going to be great.
Oh, yeah, because then you got a huge main event coming up.
Exactly, which related directly to Shane.
Exactly.
And I'm sure he's watching. So then we go off to our next match, Avery Hurts and Justin Xavier. Now, Justin Xavier has been Zero Gravity champion for a very long time now. He defeated Jaden Jett for it a while back. He's been a great champion. He's fought multiple people, Dirty Dax being one of them. Yep. Jaden Jett a couple times. Yep. He's had a lot of great matches. Now, we have been fans of Avery Hurts on this podcast before. We've interviewed him. We've interviewed Justin as well. We like both of them. However, Avery does have a little bit of a change of heart recently. See, at Moores Hill, because we didn't get a chance to talk about it and you weren't there, I'll throw you in.
As I said,
Avery Hurts and TJ Fury had a match. Number one contender for the Zero Gravity title. Winner would face Justin at New Year's Eve Bash. Avery Hurts and TJ had a great match. High-flying moves, it was entertaining. But then David Barnabas Spector came out and aided Avery Hurts to victory. Now, we know that Spector Enterprises...
They're sneaky.
They're sneaky.
They're
David
really
Barnabas Spector is sneaky. You've called him... Well, no, I've called him quite a few names. You haven't. But he is a very...
I'm back in my old meat. What did it?
But hey, he's getting his hands now in the Zero Gravity. So now there's some Zero Gravity, there's some heavyweight, there's tag team, hardcore with Amos. There's a lot of people who are... David Barnabas Spector is looking to take over all divisions. That's my belief. Because we know that he also has Madison Payne in the women's division.
Yep.
So he literally has a hand in...
Obviously, his tag team.
His tag team, he has a hand in every single division in this company. And that's scary. Because if David Barnabas Spector gets control of this company... Denim, listen, I like it, but you're going to have to... I don't know if you're going to be able to get it back from him.
He's getting it one by one.
Right. So, Avery did not have Barnabas Spector out there this time. He did not aid Avery Hurts to the ring, which was interesting, because usually you do see that. But maybe this was a test, a little bit of a test. I helped you out. Let's see what you've learned.
To see if you're worthy.
In this matchup, to see if you're worthy of being a part of the group. That's kind of my takeaway. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Justin Xavier being back was great. We haven't seen him in a while, so it was great to have him back. And, it's always great to see. Zero Gravity Division is one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah. Zero Gravity's fun. That's one of the
in this match right
matches here, to look out for. Look out. And computing.
To look out for.
Look forward to. Look forward to, yeah.
Jesus. We haven't done a podcast in like a month, and this guy forget how to talk. So it was a great match. I mean, again, a lot of back and forth, a lot of high fly action. This was one of my favorite matches of the night, if not my favorite match of the night. It was really great. Unfortunately, though, and I know how you feel about this, we've had some conversations, Avery Hertz does resort to some shenanigans going on, of course, because why wouldn't he? Of course he's learned some things from that snake, David Barnabas Spector.
That's what he was running.
Because he has that briefcase that says the greatest investment.
Yeah.
And then what got involved? Referee took it. I believe there was a low blow. I don't know. There was a lot of stuff going on. There was chaos going on, and there was it was not great. Unfortunately, Justin Xavier did lose this matchup, which means that Avery Hertz is your new Zero Gravity champion.
Finally,
he's the third Zero Gravity.
I've been waiting for this for years for him to finally get a hold of that.
He's the third Zero Gravity champion. First one being Jaden Jett, Justin Xavier. Now Avery
you can't
Hertz.
be a little bit happy for
Listen,
him. He has
Avery Hertz
has fought Jaden Jett how many times to get that damn title?
Listen, Avery was one of the guys I was pulling for back in the day. But
finally, he got it.
I don't like the way that he did it. He doesn't
finally got it.
He doesn't
years.
need David Barnabas Spector or these distractions with the briefcase and low blows and just and shenanigans. Underhanded tactics.
Obviously, he needs the shenanigans.
Underhanded
He
tactics.
got the title now, doesn't he?
I mean, it's hard to argue that. It is hard to argue that.
He didn't get it the fair way.
No, he didn't. You're right. I'm glad you admit
And
it.
he couldn't win it the fair way.
I'm glad you admit it.
So what would anybody else do?
Well, no.
Find a way to take what's theirs. Yeah. And he did.
You have honor.
And now he has his title.
That's what you have is honor. Justin Xavier fights with honor.
Guess who has honor and no title?
That's unbelievable.
Guess who has honor and no title?
Let's see how you feel about this, because this happened, after the match, Justin Xavier, his legs hurt. Security, we have to go help him in the ring. I'm a part of the security team also. I have to go and help him get out of the ring. As we're holding him up, we're all holding, he's taking all of us. Justin, this is no offense to him. He's not exactly a big guy, but his leg was so messed up in this matchup. Avery Hertz did a number on him. I mean, like I said, this was a little back and forth match between these two. Avery.
He puts the hurts on him.
If Avery watches that,
he needs to take that. That's good.
He's going to use that. So, Justin, we're holding him up. We're trying to get him out. Trying to figure out how to get him out of the ring. How do you get someone with a hurt leg? It's hard to get him out of the ring. How do we do that? Avery Hertz attacks him with the title. What was that for? What was that? What purpose did that serve? He's beating the man while he's down. He just lost the title.
Make sure he knows he stays down where the ground where he goes. Make sure. He's got to keep that.
I mean, it's disrespectful though. Justin Xavier's been a fighting champion.
Ain't no more.
Well, but he didn't.
He's a hurt foot champion.
He didn't do all those underhanded tactics, man. He was fighting with honor. He was doing it the right way. Had Bobby Fulton out there by his side.
Well, obviously it didn't work.
So Avery Hertz won. He attacked Justin afterwards. Who knows? And with that injury that he has with his leg, who knows when we'll see him? Hopefully he's doing okay with the leg, and I hope we get to see Justin Xavier back at some point and take that title away from Avery Hertz. I'll say, listen, Avery, I used to like Avery.
If you can.
I used to like Avery, but this new attitude that he's come back with, not a fan of. These underhanded tactics. David Barnabas Spector got to his head. I don't know if there's an official relationship between these two, but if there is, he's gotten to his head.
It works.
I mean, I can't argue with you. It did work. It really worked, so I can't argue with you. But obviously, we know what's next for Avery Hertz. We know that he is going to have... there's a lot of young, up-and-coming eyes, and we'll talk about that when we talk about the Sunman Showdown. There's a match for a #1 contender for his title, so he's going to know quick who his first opponent is. But Avery Hertz, I do think it is nice. It is a little nice to see him have a title,
because we've been working for years trying to get that title.
It's just, I wish he wouldn't have done it this way. That's all. And as far as for Justin Xavier, listen, I mean, once that leg heals up, come back and get that Zero Gravity title back. That's what I think.
Yeah. Just watch out for Avery Hertz.
I mean, listen, I think Avery, as long as he does things the right way.
I think he's turned into a beast. And he's going to be unstoppable for a little while.
Yeah. I mean,
he's on that beastly rampage.
He might be the greatest investment.
I'm thinking so. Definitely that Barnabas Spector has.
That's saying something, considering that Congo Kong is a part of that group, Mammy Fulton's a part of that group.
I know, but then freaking Avery Hertz just flipped the switch.
Yeah, he did. He did flip the switch.
He came in destroying.
We hadn't seen him for a while.
Maybe he got tired of losing.
Yeah, but you don't think that he didn't even give Bobby Fulton a chance. He won the Bobby Fulton Battle Royal, didn't even give him a chance to learn anything from Bobby Fulton. If you remember right, he had a match that he lost in, and he got mad at Bobby Fulton. He was blaming Bobby Fulton.
It's his manager. He was supposed to be there.
No, that's what I'm saying. He was blaming.
So he found a manager that is.
But Bobby Fulton was there, and there's only so much you can do on the outside of the ring. Unless you use underhanded tactics to do so.
Some shall say. I think he found a manager finally that was a good fit for him. Okay. And he capitalized on it.
I mean, he did.
Everyone would.
Well, only people with no honor would. But that's me. That's just me. But anyway, point is, hope Dustin gets better. Hope we see him back soon. And Avery, I mean, I guess congratulations.
I hope you're shining that title up nice. It looks good on him. It does.
I mean, I just wish he would have done it differently, that's all.
Puts a little shine to his investment.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good looking shine,
you
too.
Think he's going to carry around the title in the briefcase, too?
I hope he carries it on his waist.
Yeah, well, of course he is. He's probably showing it off everywhere he goes.
That'd be awesome. See him walk around with his big old belt on.
Okay, that's enough of this. We got to move on. Of course, it doesn't get much better. I'm just going to let everyone know. If you guys saw the show, you know it doesn't. He's going to have a lot of bragging rights. He was really looking forward to doing this one. He didn't want to do the Moores Hill one, but God, he could not wait to get this one done.
I wasn't even there for that one.
All right, moving on. Paris McQueen and Ari Alexander have a match for the number 1 contenders for Shauna Reed's title. Now, Ari had already won that in a triple threat against Casey Clay and Madison Payne in Moores Hill, but she's a fighter. Ari, I mean, we didn't really get a chance to talk about this, but having Ari back is great. She's a tough lady. She's willing to put up her number 1 contender spot against Paris McQueen. Now, obviously, we know that Brandon Day later on in the show has a match against Paxton Calloway. So this could be a big moment for
for sure.
The On-Chain Kingdom group. Like, I mean, we could walk away with a heavyweight champion and number 1 contender for the women's title.
Which would be pretty big for them.
But in order to do that, you have to get through Ari Alexander. Now, I mean, Shauna Reed, I think, is unquestionably probably the best woman wrestler in BOTB history. She holds the title. She's holding the title now. She's held that
title for a while.
She's held it it has to be the longest time. She's defended it a whole bunch. She's a fighting champion.
I don't know if she held it as long as Malia Saka did.
But combined, probably, yeah. Three
combined,
three times.
I was about to say, because she held it for a long time.
Yes, she did. I mean, probably a year.
Yeah.
Malia Saka at least. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, Shauna being a 3-time champion.
Oh yeah.
You know, that probably makes her the best woman. Probably the best women's champion of all time in BOTB. I think that's on. I mean, that's fair to say.
That's fair.
Even if you don't like her, you know, I think you have to say that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I think between a lot of BOTB fans, the quick number 2, and I don't mean this in any disrespect to her, is Ari Alexander. Ari Alexander's never held the title.
I was about to say,
that's what Ari wants.
Well, she better.
So she has to defeat Paris McQueen in order to do that. Obviously, Talboy was there, being as annoying as always.
I like that guy.
I mean, of course you do. Of course you do. He's exactly what he's always just.
It's pretty cool.
If he would just focus a little bit more on, I don't know, like not yelling at the crowd.
I'm gonna go give him a couple more towels. That way he's got something to switch out.
You're gonna be the Talboy's Talboy?
I'm gonna give him a couple more towels. No, I'm gonna gift them to him. Like, here, that towel looks like you've been working hard with it. So.
Well, you know what?
A couple more so they can choose from them.
We'll make this announcement now, since you brought this up. That is an interview that we're going to be having coming up soon.
I'm super excited for
Paris McQueen and Talboys. So you know what? You keep that end of the deal, but this will come out before Summer Showdown. When we show up there, go ahead and give them some towels.
Give him some towels?
Gift him some towels for.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
A late Christmas, early birthday. I don't know when his birthday is.
Towels.
Okay, there you go. So that's something that might happen on that. So make sure you look forward to that episode. Coming out, we're going to be interviewing Paris McQueen and Talboy. Super excited for that one.
They're going to yell at you.
Why? I haven't even said anything bad about him yet. I mean, Talboy's annoying.
You said yet.
Talboy's annoying. I mean, let's just be honest. Talboy's annoying. He's yelling at the crowd. He's getting in people's faces. He's waving a towel around. He's getting involved.
Well, yeah, he's a cowboy.
Underhanded tactics. We've seen how this guy works.
Anyway, damn underhanded tactics. You are an underhanded tactic.
Listen, I'm wearing this shirt. This was not planned.
He loves Carson Drake. He's full of shit.
I'm wearing this shirt. He told me that I can't say the word cheating. I found another word. Underhanded tactics.
He probably, the great one would probably say you can't say that either.
All right. Okay. Well, that's not enough. We're going back to that. Paris McQueen. Listen, and this is a big opportunity for Paris. You know, we talked about Ari Alexander, what this means to her. She's never had the title here in BOTB. She's probably a little sick of hearing everyone talk about how great Shauna is.
I'm sure.
She probably wants to be.
Probably gets annoying for a while.
I'm sure it does. So she wants the #1 spot. She wants to prove that she can beat Shauna for the title. But this is a huge opportunity for Paris McQueen. I mean, this is probably her, like, I could be wrong about this, but I think it's like her second or third match here in Battle on the Border. Something like that. So I mean, this is a huge, to become #1 contender for the title, potentially. That's a huge.
Yeah, that's a big thing to be going for this, like, not having many matches with BOTB under your belt.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, so Paris McQueen, Ari Alexander, great match, a lot of back and forth. But as I said, Cowboy was there, and it's important to note that he was there because there are some things that go on in this match. I guess I can't say those words, but it's the truth. There was some Cowboy got involved. Is that good? Is that fine? If I just leave it there, if I leave it there, people know what I mean.
Yes,
he got involved. Cowboy got involved, and because of that, it was a huge upset. That's right.
You're taking from Paris McQueen now.
Paris McQueen, huh?
You're taking from Paris McQueen now.
No. Listen, let me finish. Paris McQueen did get a victory over Ari Alexander, and that is impressive because she
rightfully so.
She did have a couple moments, and she had Ari reeling a couple times. She had a couple close calls, but as soon as Ari started getting back in the offense, as soon as it started looking good for Ari, and as soon as it looked like Ari was going to get the victory, who got involved, and how did she get the victory?
You're saying that she only got the victory because Cowboy.
No,
that's
I'm saying
away
there was an 8. Paris doesn't need Cowboy.
Well, obviously,
Brandon Day and Paris McQueen, they don't need Cowboy. And you know what? Brandon Day doesn't need to have Paris McQueen and Cowboy at his side all the time.
That's not very nice.
He can fight a battle on his own.
Yeah, but they're a crew.
I get that they're a crew.
You gotta keep your friends close.
It's okay there's a difference between being a crew and being a crew that does underhanded tactics and shenanigans.
You and them damn underhanded tactics and shenanigans.
But listen, so it is important to note Paris McQueen did get the victory. I mean that's a huge opportunity. I mean that's a huge upset.
Big opportunity.
I mean Ari Alexander was able to get the victory over Madison Payne and Casey Clay, #1 contender. Now Paris McQueen gets the victory. Now she's a #1 contender for the title.
You gotta think Ari's getting back in the speed of the BOTB women too.
I mean,
she was out for a while.
I don't know if they haven't fought in BOTB for sure.
No.
I don't know if they fought other places before, but I do know that they haven't squared. This might have been the first time, and if so, maybe that played into it. And listen, I'm not taking away from Paris McQueen. I do think Paris McQueen is very talented. That's why I don't think she needs Cowboy. And if you don't think I'm going to say that,
you're being really mean to Cowboy. That's not very nice.
Listen, if Cowboy was in the ring and competing, it would be one thing. But he comes out there, he's wiping people down.
He might be learning. He's putting in the grunt work before he gets the actual good work.
Yeah, that's fair. But
y'all got to start at the bottom somewheres.
That's fair.
Maybe he's trying to get in
But then
there.
why do you have to distract Ari? And why do you have to do all the...
Well, she shouldn't have fell for it.
Oh my gosh, now we're blaming her, the victim. We're victim blaming now in this thing. Listen, I just think no one had Ari Alexander's back. It's not like she had some...
She should have brought somebody.
She didn't think... She shouldn't have to.
She could have brought Shane.
One-on-one, settle it in the ring. One-on-one between these two. You don't need to have outside.
She could have easily brought
Shane. Listen,
to back her up.
Paris McQueen did get the victory though, so that's huge for her. We'll talk about her later as far as what's next for her. She does have a match at Sunman Showdown. Ari Alexander though, so she got the win. Now she got the loss. What's next for her?
Work her way back up, I reckon.
Work her way back
I mean, that's usually what we go with in the girls because there's so many.
There's so many of them now. We do that with everybody.
But but with the girls' division, it's so freaking stacked right now that like when you're at the top and
one
you lose
loss
one, so you got to go all the way back to the bottom and go right back up the ladder.
Yeah, and listen, I think
never-ending cycle. You get up and down, up and down.
I think that if there's anyone who can do it, I think it is Ari Alexander. She's extraordinarily talented, and I think she can one day, get that match against Shauna. But Paris McQueen,
unless Paris McQueen takes it.
Yeah, well, and she did. So,
no, I mean, unless she takes the title,
she might.
I mean,
we don't know yet. We'll see. Paris McQueen, though, hey, congratulations, I guess, and Cowboy, good job to you also for you. You did your job, I guess.
Putting in the work,
and one day, one day he will get what's his. I mean, eventually he's going to get in the ring.
I would hope so. He seems like he's trying to.
When he does, you know what, Cowboy? Here's what I'll say. If you're watching, here's what I'll say. I don't think he watches, but he's probably too busy, wiping the sweat off of Brandon Day and Paris McQueen are doing whatever it is, washing his towels. I don't know what it is.
He might be at home.
Well, here's what I
don't think he's
I will
boy
say.
24/7.
I think he is. Here's what I'll say. What I'll say is this. What I say is, I hope that when you're in the ring, I hope that Brandon Day and Paris McQueen do as much for you as you do for them. That's what I hope. Do you think that? Let's talk about that for a second. Do you think that Brandon Day would do as much? Would he put his neck on the line for Towelboy as much, or would Paris McQueen do it as much? Because I don't know if they would.
They might.
You see, you know that
there's a possibility.
You know they wouldn't, and that's the thing. Towelboy,
there's always a chance.
Towelboy, I think you need to get out of there, man. Get out of there. Get
that
out of
would
there.
not be a good move.
Get out of there while you can. They're taking advantage of you, and then they're going to throw you to the side.
He's got a strong team.
They're going to throw you to the side as soon as they get the opportunity to, and you know that.
I think they would go out there and be in his back.
Well, maybe one day we'll find out, but for now we won't. Now, Paris McQueen. Anyway, so Paris McQueen gets the victory. That's all I got to say about that.
Harsh.
I mean,
right now we're not.
I don't know. What am I supposed to say? I said all I can. All right, so next we have a tag team title match. Now, the tag team champions, Eric Surge and Anton Bomani. King Bomani, everybody loves them. They had a huge victory to get the tag titles over CFR and Congo Kong not too long ago.
You're talking about that one.
That's when Bomani, your favorite tag team. You love these guys. Yeah. Surgeon Kings.
Yeah, the stupidest name I ever heard. What? We're the Surgeon Kings.
Dude, I can't believe you're doing this. You did not talk like this when we interviewed Eric Surge in person. You were real quiet then. Where's all this energy now? I
don't know, but the Dungeon's a pretty cool name.
Yeah, well, so the Dungeon they got the #1 contenders back at Morris Hill, and now they are going to be cashing in that opportunity to take on Eric Surge, who is also the golden ticket holder. The Dungeon did come out though, and they said something very interesting. They came out first, and they said that they ran into Bomani. They ran into Bomani on the way there at a gas station and said that maybe some sugar ended up in his tank and that he wasn't going to be able to make it. Well. I think now I'm not a detective. I didn't get to see the case files on this one. We're terrible detectives. Remember when we were trying to figure out the last name? We're terrible detectives.
Bad detectives.
I think the Dungeon might have done it.
I don't know.
Do you think the Dungeon maybe put some, maybe kept Bomani from showing up? Are they scared of Bomani?
No, I doubt it. I doubt they're scared of Bomani. If anything, Bomani was too scared of them. That's why he didn't come.
You think he put sugar in his own gas tank?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Or having car problems.
They straight up basically said we did it. Well, I don't know why you're trying to defend them.
They didn't say it though.
Maybe they might have. Honestly, I mean, the show was a while ago. I might be getting it wrong, but I believe that they said that that some sugar might have ended up in his gas tank.
They said it might have.
Anyway, point is that they said, Surge, if you're still up to it, you can come out here or not, whatever, doesn't really matter. At that point, they were pretty much saying, like, listen, Surge, what are you going to do? You don't have a tag team partner. They were challenging Eric Surge. Now, for those of you guys who have seen Eric Surge, you guys know that's not a smart idea. For those who have not seen Surge, it is not a smart idea to challenge Eric Surge to anything. Eric Surge isn't going to back down to anybody.
No.
He's one of the biggest guys in BOTB by far. Dude is jacked. I wouldn't mess with him. You didn't mess with him when we interviewed him, just when you're not around him. And Bomani's no slouch either. Dude's a big guy. They're two big guys. I wouldn't want to mess with them. That's why they went. And listen, and don't get me wrong. The Dungeon's also very big. Kyle Craven. I mean, Kyle Craven is a huge guy as well, and so is Adam Rodgers.
I would want them on my team.
I would want any 4 of these guys. And I was really looking forward to 4 of these guys. Unfortunately, only 3 of them showed up. Because 2 of the guys made sure 1 guy wouldn't show up.
It's pretty smart, wasn't it?
No. Well, it actually kind of was smart. I guess I got to give it to you. I don't like it, but it was smart. So, of course, Eric Surge, being the person that he is, being the fighting champion that he is, wanting to give the crowd a show, probably not the smartest decision.
Definitely not the smartest decision.
Decided that he was going to put the tag team titles up on the line. Still defend the titles. I mean, he had the titles, so might as well defend them, I guess, against the Dungeon. Now, listen, Eric, Surge, I like you. All right, I'm a huge fan of yours. I think that one day you're going to be the biggest star in the world. But let's talk. I mean, this was
realism here.
This may not have been the smartest decision that you've ever made. Now I get it. You're trying to defend your friend potentially. Maybe you got caught up in the moment because the crowd was wanting you to do it. But I think at some point in this matchup, there was this moment of realization that he had where maybe this wasn't the smartest. Because it did not start out very well for him. It was tough. I mean, it was 2-on-1. Serge started fighting back. Then I'm thinking, oh, Serge is surging up. He's going to see how I did that. He's going to defend these titles. He's going to successfully beat these two people, the Dungeon, send them right back down the rankings in the BOTB tag division. Unfortunately, though, there are 2 of them and 1 of him. And no matter how big Serge is, Kyle Craven, Adam Morges, big guys on their own right. Very tough guys. I mean, I saw at the Morris Hill show, ropes exploded. Adam Morges had a busted lip, and he came back and he still fought. And the American Beast was there. And the Dungeon, these are 3 guys you don't want to mess with.
No.
Because of that, the 2-on-1, the Dungeon are the new tag team champions.
It sounds like Serge may have blew a tire.
Quite. What? I'm very upset about this because
He was surging up and then blew a tire.
Okay, I get it. This was a huge opportunity. I mean, I remember, I think one of my favorite BOTB moments of all time is when Bomani pulled up in that car against CFR, when CFR, because again, that's when Serge was by himself. Serge was by him, starting to see a pattern here.
Bomani skips out on Serge a lot.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that. But Bomani pulled up in that car. They won the tag titles. One of my favorite moments of all time. Crowd went crazy. I was going crazy. You were looking somewhere else. You were claiming you didn't even see it happen. You were ready to go.
See him come in.
You were packing stuff up, ready to go. That's one of my favorite moments.
Yeah, rude driving a car on the baseball field.
But unfortunately, now the Dungeon are the tag team champions.
Rightfully so.
Now, it is interesting to note, I got a little bit of insider information because I do know Denim, and I don't talk shit like you do to Denim, so I can talk to him and he likes me. He gives me information. See, that's how you run a successful podcast, is you become friends with people and you get some insider knowledge. It is interesting to note that, and I don't know, maybe this has been publicly, maybe this was publicly said by this point. I found out the next day, but the Dungeon are going to be operating under Freebird rules with the tag titles. And I know you don't know what that is, so I'll explain.
Yep, I was about to say, I do not know what that is.
For those that don't know, the Fabulous Freebirds were a tag team back in the day, back in the 80s, in wrestling, 70s and 80s in wrestling. There were 3 of them, and they would hold tag team champions, but any combination of the 3 could defend it. So, for example, with the Dungeon, on that day, it was Adam Morges and Kyle Craven who won the titles.
Yes.
However, at a show in the future, it could be the American Beast and Adam Morges defending the titles. It doesn't have to be the 2 who won it. It can be any combination of the 2.
That's smart.
That is.
Just in case one can't, like Bomani. Oh, wait, they only had 2, didn't they? Forgot about that. They didn't. They dropped the ball on it. Yeah, that wouldn't work for them anyways. Never mind.
So anyway, that is my piece of information that maybe I'm breaking the news with, maybe I'm not, but there is going to be Freebird rule enacted where any combination, 2 of the 3 can defend the titles. So that's interesting to know. I mean, congratulations to the Dungeon, I guess. You beat one guy for tag titles. I mean,
he's the one that took the thing.
Yeah, it is. And honestly, like I said, I think Serge got caught up in the moment. Maybe he was a little bit upset with Bomani because this is kind of becoming a theme. I'll be honest with you. It is kind of becoming a theme where Bomani isn't really there for Serge. And Serge is trying his best, and he did lose. But listen, Eric Serge has other things that he has to worry about because he does have that golden ticket that he has to cash in, and it's getting close. I believe it's Night of Champions.
I was going to say, it's not far from now.
I believe it's Night of Champions. It is the end date, that'll be here before you know it. So, we know what's next for the Dungeon. They have the tag titles. They'll defend them. Any 2 of the 3 can. Congratulations to them. But what's next for Eric Serge? First off, I don't usually answer these questions first, but I'm just going to have to say it. He's going to have to figure out something with Bomani. He's got to figure that out. That's an issue.
Either drop him or figure out his attendance.
Yeah, make sure, maybe take a ride with him.
Him being go
pick him up.
Have been not very often.
I mean, I assume that Eric Serge
shot him in the foot a couple times.
I'm assuming Eric Serge wants those tag titles back. He might use that golden ticket on the tag titles.
I would drop him and get a new partner before he done that.
I mean, honestly, and listen, I like Bomani, but I mean, like I said, he had to roll in a vehicle in order to get the tag titles in the first place. Now, Sugar ends up in a gas tank. He's not there. And I mean, it's not necessarily Bomani's fault that someone sabotaged his vehicle.
Gotta have a backup.
But if you're Eric Serge, you have to start wondering, like, hey, man, I've been doing a lot by myself here. What's going on?
Yep.
But I don't think Eric Serge is going to do that.
He's an independent tag team partner.
Yeah.
He's an independent tag team.
I think Eric Serge is going to be the kind of guy who is going to try to stick with his friend. He's going to try to defend his friend. He's going to want those tag team titles back.
He ain't going to get them.
We'll see. I mean, he does have the...
He'll be going for it by himself again.
I mean, he has a golden ticket. He could be going after Paxton Calloway. He might be going after Jeff King.
Yeah. Well, that'd be a mistake.
He might be going after... I mean, he's definitely not a zero gravity guy, so going after Avery Hurts wouldn't do much.
Jeff
but he
King
might
needs to go to the right side.
Okay, we're not even going to address that. We're not going to talk about that yet. I want to know what you mean, but we'll talk about that when we get there. The point is that Eric Surge does have to worry about that first, but also he has to figure something out with Bomani. He's got to either patch it up or, like you said,
trade him.
Like you said, maybe a new tag team partner.
You got to have somebody reliable. Otherwise, you're not going to get a title.
Yeah, I can't even argue with you. I think you're right.
Unreliability is like the worst thing ever.
Especially in tag team wrestling.
Yeah, especially when
you literally need a partner to do that. So
I mean, he went out there by himself and got his ass whooped.
Well, I mean, he
would have turned around and walked away.
He almost beat the dungeon. It was close a couple times, you have to admit.
2 people on one person is never close.
Yeah, it was. There was 2 counts. There was close calls. I thought he won it a couple times.
He got a couple of them, yeah, but that's... You know what the end game was going to be.
Yeah.
He got a 2-on-1 tag. Oh, he's in.
Yeah.
Oh,
fresh guy.
Well, I'm getting a breath.
Yep. And then
Boom.
By the time he tags in, he's ready to go.
Back in breath. And Surge is going boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
He never gets a chance for breath.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean...
His goose was cooked from the minute he walked out behind that freaking... Curtain.
Real good with words today. Can you believe we do a podcast? This is a good time to mention that Square Circle Expo is coming up. We will be there along with Battle on the Border.
I know you guys are surprised they're letting us in there.
I know. I can't let us in there, but they did let us in there. We're going to have a table set up. So if you're going to be at the Square Circle Expo, which is in Indianapolis, April 25th and 26th, make sure you stop by and you say hi. We'll have tickets down below for that as well. We want to see you guys out there. Tickets are going fast. By the time this goes up, maybe there won't even be tickets to the show. So make sure you're there. We're going to be there. We are going to have with us Rob Conway.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have with us...
Which is going to be pretty cool.
Congo Kong. We're going to have with us
cool.
Bobby Fulton. How cool is that?
And pretty damn cool.
So I believe Friday it'll be Bobby Fulton and Congo Kong. And then on Saturday it will be Rob Conway and Congo Kong. So make sure you stop by our tables. We'll be... both of us will be switching in and out people. So, but yeah, point is, make sure you stop by and you say hi. I'm very excited. It's our first time there, and I don't believe it'll be our last. So make sure you stop in and you say hi. Mm-hmm. That was a good time to mention that right before we get to the Bobby Fulton Battle Royal. This is one of the matches that happen every single year.
Yes.
Generally speaking, it happens, I believe, normally at the Aurora Farmers Fair. This year, it was pushed back to New Year's Eve because it is such a big show. And there were so many people in this matchup. I don't know how many.
I think there's 12. 15?
I believe it was closer to 15. I mean, Ethan Evans was in it. TJ Fury was in it. There was... Super Oprah was there.
Yeah,
Super Oprah
that was
came
awesome.
Back. We haven't seen Super Oprah in a while. Congo Kong was also there. Creed Costello, Party Mike were there. There were a couple of new faces. Sam and Slammy was there. Unfortunately, I didn't get everybody's name. I did have some written down, but I don't want to miss any, so I'm not going to say any more. But those are some of the names I remember. Ethan Evans was eliminated by Super Oprah at one point. Congo Kong, I believe, was even. I think they eliminated each other. Maybe there was so much going on. It was hard to really focus on really what was going on.
It was a hectic match.
Like always is. Benjamin Chimera was in it. For those that know Benjamin Chimera, he was in it. So, I mean, there was a lot going on. It was a hectic match, like you said. There was so much going on. It was hard to really focus on what was going on. But here's what we do know. What we do know is the ending. Yes. And this is a controversial one. We've never seen this before in the Battle Royal. I don't know what happened. No one really does. I think everyone's still trying to figure out what happened. But here's what we do know. What we do know is that there wasn't really a winner. You see, what happened is that
they had a little bit of money on the line.
That's right. That's right. I even forgot about that. $2,500
money on the line.
$2,500 is on the line. So there was a lot. They give Bobby Fulton managerial experience for at least a year, and then also it's usually longer, but at least, and then also $2,500.
So I mean, that's
everyone was fighting for everything. So the final three I do know were Benjamin Chimera, Creed Costello, and Party Mike. Benjamin Chimera gets eliminated.
Yeah.
The final two are Party Mike and Creed Costello. Now we know that these guys used to be friends. Now they hate each other. In fact, I believe Creed Costello left Party Mike once in a match not too long ago. I believe that was at Night of Champions this previous year. I believe I could be wrong about that. But it did happen. It did happen in Cleves. I don't know if it was Night of Champions, but it did happen. So these guys do not like each other. But remember, they did say beforehand that they were going to work together. They put a promo out there, and they said they were going to work together as much as they could, and then figure it out when they got there. Well, now they're there. They're the final two. What's going to happen? Well, both of their feet landed on the outside of the ring at the same time. We had one referee saying Party Mike won, one referee saying that Creed Costello won. So we still don't really know to this moment what happened.
I think Creed Costello won.
I think Party Mike won. That's interesting how that works.
No, I don't think he did.
I don't know how it happened. I don't know.
His foot hit first.
Well, see, how could you tell? We were sitting too far away. There were people standing in front of us. We couldn't see.
Party Mike, Creed.
I think Party Mike won. He thought Creed won, of course. Who would have thought? But we don't still really know. I don't know. There hasn't really been an official statement.
They should have reviewed the footage.
It's too close. It's too close to call. I heard from people who were sitting in the front row. I heard from some security guards. I heard from the referees. They both said, it looked like it landed at the same time. You know, one referee, Nick Wiggins, he said, I believe he was the one that said Creed won, and I believe Nick Barney was the one that said Party Mike won. I might have had those
Nick
switched.
Barney is good at overturning stuff. So
yeah. Don't even get me started on that. Point is, good point. Point is, we don't really know. But the point, here's what we'll say, because we are the podcast, we do have to kind of talk about it. I guess both won because Bobby Fulton
even tie.
Yeah, I guess because Bobby Fulton afterwards was trying to get the two of them to work together. And this is kind of interesting because this could be a chance for Bobby Fulton to mend these two together and then get back into the tag team division. Bobby Fulton is a part of one of the greatest tag teams of all time. Now he could, birth the new greatest tag team of all time. Party Mike and Creed Costello, they've already been a tag team once, so they know each other as friends and they know each other as rivals.
You gotta get them to like each other, though.
That's going to be tough. Bobby, listen. Bobby definitely does not listen to this podcast, but let me tell you something. If you do, good luck. That's got to tell you, because these guys don't like each other, so good luck. So, hey, listen, we'll talk about Party Mike later. He's a part of the Sunman Show and Creed Costello. I guess all we can say is, as far as what's next for them is, I don't know. Honestly, I really don't.
They had good spending.
What happened to the $2,500? Did they split it?
I hope so. If they both won,
I would hope they split it. I'd be pretty mad if we were supposed to split money and we didn't get half of the money.
I'd be pissed.
See what I did there? You know what I'm talking about? If we split the money and didn't get half of the money.
What?
No,
we split the money.
We'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about it in a second. Point is, Party Mike, Creed Costello. Who knows what's next? Now, time for a PSA. We did a split the pot.
Oh yeah,
we did a split the pot.
Yeah, that's it.
And somebody.
Is that where you were going at?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, what the? Why didn't you just say yeah?
Well, because
split the pot.
I thought you would know. But anyway, the point is, we did a split PSA. Well, I don't normally do these, but if you're a part of the BOTB Brigade and you've seen it since it's public knowledge, now we'll talk about it. The split the pot, it hit a record number.
Oh yeah.
$400, $200 to the winner, $200 for us. Our side of the $200 was stolen. We have no idea who done it.
By some slum dog crapperhead.
Listen, we know time's tough. We understand
that,
but stealing is not all right. And listen, I don't know if the person who does that would listen, but this is all serious. This is very serious. Don't do it again.
No.
Precautions, I guess, now will be taken in to make sure that does not happen again. But very disappointing. And if anybody knows anything, you'll contact Denim Blevins.
If they get caught, they should get a lifetime ban.
Listen,
just bull crap.
That's not much.
Wrestling's supposed to be family,
but it is a family atmosphere.
Can't be family if you can't trust nobody.
I just thought it was important to make sure we mentioned that because it is something that happened and it is public knowledge now. Denim made the post, and it really sucks to see that and hear that, and I really hope that never happens again.
If you took it, turn it in.
You know what? Maybe maybe Creed or Party Mike took it because they weren't sure if they were going to get the $2,500. Have you looked into them, Denim? Huh? If they didn't get the $2,500, maybe one of them was like, you know what? Hey,
we didn't get our half, so we took your half. No, I don't think so. But if you did take it, just freaking return the money.
Yeah, we're gonna return the money, and there won't be any consequences. Denim said he just wants the money back. You can return it annonously.
You get all the consequences, and let them know. So you can get a police call on you.
No. Listen,
but
no.
I'm nice. So Denim's a lot nicer than I am.
He just wants this. He just wants everyone to know that that happened. So if we
it won't be tolerated again.
It will not be tolerated again. It will not
at all.
So moving onwards, just wanted to make sure we got that out there. I guess congratulations to Creed and Party Mike. I don't know how they feel. I don't know
where in the hell that went. I assume they were pretty pissed off when it first happened.
Yeah.
They were.
They were. They ended up attacking each other.
They were really pissed off.
Yeah, later on in the night, they ended up attacking each other, and I had to run back out there try to split them up. And then they were arguing with Bobby Fulton also later on. Yeah, they're not happy about it, but because you know what? They know what this means. What this means is because they're probably both going to end up being considered the winners, which means they both have to deal with, having Bobby Fulton as their manager and then deal with each other. And they don't want to deal with each other.
No.
So,
Thanks.
Yeah, that's my girlfriend's handwriting, and then that's mine. A lot better.
Yeah, your handwriting sucks.
Yeah, well, you see, look at these notes I take.
Your handwriting sucks.
I stopped taking notes because I'm like, I can't read it half the time anyway. So, moving on,
It's real basic.
more women's action. We've seen these two before in Battle on the Board. I believe they were part of a tag team match in some sort. This is Betty D and Emily Rose. These are two newcomers. We talked about the women's division growing. They're not. This is not their debut, but they're still new. I think this is like their second or third match, maybe in Battle on the Border. So we don't really know a lot about these two, but we do know that they do not like each other, is what we do know.
Nope.
And it was very apparent when the match got started. It was a great matchup. These two were fighting back and forth. And I mean, listen, it's always fun to see, especially in the women's division, new competitors. And Shauna Reed, she's definitely watching, paying attention, making sure she knows, because you never know. We could see Betty D or Emily Rose maybe one day rising to the ranks and becoming #1 contender for that title. I mean, Paris McQueen is a newcomer to Battle on the Border, and she
look where she's at.
She's right at the top. So, it was a great matchup back and forth between these two, and it was both ladies were very impressive. It's always nice, like I said, to see the women's division grow as much as possible. And Betty D, underhanded tactics, shenanigans. I don't have to say it. You already know it. If you were there, you know it. If you're there, you don't know it. But the point is that she did get the victory. That's a big victory to have in this division, because I mean the women's division is a tough one. So that means that Betty D's stock rises. Emily
puts her a step ahead.
Yeah, puts her a step ahead. And then Emily Rose, obviously her stock falls a little bit, but I think both have
right back to the bottom.
Well, I don't know about all the way to the bottom, but I mean, sure, maybe.
I mean, there's so much talent. It's hard not to go straight to the bottom to gain back up.
When you lose. And I mean, listen, I don't know much about Emily Rose or Betty D, but I'm assuming that Emily Rose is going to be ready to get back in the action. And Betty D, just from her demeanor, she's from Pittsburgh. And, here in the Cincinnati area, we don't necessarily love Pittsburgh.
I don't like Pittsburgh, but I like her music.
Yeah, her music's okay, I guess. Black and yellow. But it makes me think of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Even though I'm a Colts fan, we're Colts fans, I still like Pittsburgh.
I don't like Pittsburgh either.
Yeah, I really hate the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I'm thinking about that.
Like
Who likes Pittsburgh?
I have a friend.
That's the big question.
Well, Betty D likes Pittsburgh.
How?
Well, I don't know. Ask her next time we see her. Maybe we'll get her on a podcast and ask her about why she loves Pittsburgh. We may have to get her on a sports podcast. Yeah,
maybe a serious thing.
Like why? Figure out that city's.
I mean, they need to get their heads scanned.
I mean, they lost the first round of the playoffs. They lost the first round of the playoffs like they always do.
Well, yeah.
But Emily Rose, Betty D did not lose.
Oh, well, we can't really say much though.
Yeah, Colts didn't even make the playoffs.
So. Anyway,
kind of throwing stones in the glass house. You know who's more of a winner than the Colts are? Betty D. That's who. She got the victory, and I mean, I guess these two don't like. I would assume that we will see these two probably wrestle each other again. I mean, I don't remember. I'll be completely honest with everybody, and this is not any slight to Betty D or Emily Rose, but the women's division has grown so much. I don't necessarily remember the last time when we saw them, what the outcome was. But I will say this. It doesn't really matter what happened a year ago, because it's been about a year since we've seen them.
A lot can change in a
year. A lot changes in a year. The women's division's grown since then. They were kind of the start in a way when you think about it, like the start of the growth. Like we saw these two, we're like, hey, what is this? Betty D, Emily Rose, what's this about? And now it's like, dude, they come back. The women's division's completely different.
I remember when
it's only going to continue to grow.
I remember when we first started working with Battle on the Border. There was like maybe max 4 women.
And now there's
in the division
12, 15 women. Like,
so, I mean, that's a big growth in what?
Yeah, Bashley Bones, Lucy B. Sweet, Shauna Reed, Ari Alexander, Casey Clay, Emily Rose, Betty D, Madison Payne, Storm Garcon, Slam and Sammy. Yeah. That's 10 just off the top of my head.
Yeah, and that's just,
I'm sure we're
missing some. I know there's more.
Right, so women's division's growing. So, hey, congratulations to Betty D on the win. I don't know necessarily if this means that she's closer to the top or if she's still somewhere in the middle, but I mean, it's a step further than Emily Rose is probably.
Yep.
And with Emily Rose, hey, keep your head up. I mean, she gave it all she could. She tried her best. It came up short. Maybe there were some shenanigans. Point is that Betty D did get the victory, so congratulations to her.
My hand puppet's going to finish this podcast.
Emily Rose, yeah, I mean, I guess got to start somewhere. Maybe we'll see her. Maybe we'll see her soon. Who knows?
Keep pumping.
Next matchup was supposed to be Paxton Calloway versus Brandon Day, but Paxton Calloway fell ill. I mean, we know that there's a lot of illnesses going around.
Going around. It's called chickenpoxitis.
You just got done having the flu.
A bit of a chicken.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, point is that he was sick. He could not make it. But
Sick.
Brandon Day is not one to go to a show and not have a match. He wants to have a match. Brandon Day, we talked to him. You know how much he loves wrestling. He loves this. And he wants to stay warm. He's the number one contender for the world title. He wants to stay loose. While Paxton's at home.
Well, he should have got it while Paxton was nursing his chickenness.
Oh my God. I'd like to see you call Paxton Calloway a chicken to his face. Like you would Surge.
No.
Exactly. Anyway, so
hey, I ain't saying I would never get in a ring with Brandon Day or Paxton, but Paxton's definitely afraid.
He's not afraid. Listen, Paxton Calloway has had some matches against some of the biggest and toughest people in Battle on the Border. So right off the top of my head, the American Giant, who was bigger than Paxton Calloway. Then you have Shane Mercer, who lifted Paxton Calloway up. Brandon Day had a match with him already, and Brandon Day technically got the victory, like we talked about before. I mean, Brandon Day, there was an elbow, and Brandon Day won, but he didn't win the title due to DQ because Paxton Calloway hit the referee with an elbow.
Hey, he should have got the title.
Well, they don't change hands in DQs.
I know.
So
I think he did it on purpose because he knew he was going to lose.
No, you don't. You know he didn't do it on purpose. It was an accident. He came back like this.
Oh yeah, it was an accident.
No, he didn't elbow the referee. It happened. The referee's too close.
Yeah,
Back up a little bit. Get the guy some space.
It definitely happened. And
he's
then
a big guy. Paxton's got a lot of reach.
Not showing up definitely happened too, didn't it?
Well, it did happen. He was sick. What do you want? You want to get everyone sick? You want to get everyone in the crowd sick?
No, I guess you don't want to turn everybody chickens.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so Brandon Day asked for a match, and he got one with someone named Will the Thrill. Now, Will the Thrill.
He wasn't a chicken.
Not a chicken. Hey, listen, anybody who's willing to get in the ring with Brandon Day, I have to give applause to. I mean, Brandon Day is, in all seriousness, probably the most talented person on the roster.
And probably the
scariest. And the roster is extremely talented. Like, from top to bottom, the card's great. There's so many talented people, and Brandon Day's one of the most talented people on the roster. We told him about that. Like, how is he not on TV? I mean, I don't want him because of the people he runs around with. He associates with Paris McQueen and Talboy, who, of course, were out there, by the way.
He's their mentor, dude.
Yeah, but you know what they do. There were shenanigans in this match with Will the Thrill. Talboy's getting involved.
Oh, my.
Waving towel.
You and that damn
Paris
you
McQueen,
really don't like Talboy.
Paris McQueen distracting the referee.
I hope you give him this much shit when we're interviewing.
Oh, you know I'm going to ask him about why he does the things he does. Wait, Brandon Day can't get a win on his own? Paris McQueen can't get a win on his own? That's what I'm saying. And I know for a fact, and this is why I'm so angry about it. I know for a fact that when Talboy gets in the ring, at the first sign of trouble, Paris McQueen and Brandon Day are out. They're not going to fight nearly as hard. I'm rooting for Talboy. I want Talboy to break free from the chains. I want him to become unchained.
Why? He's got a good team behind him.
That wouldn't do the same for him. And I don't know that. I don't know that you're right. But
hey, Brandon Day is a pretty good person.
I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm just saying that he cheats. I said it. There. Is that what you wanted me to say?
You know, Carson Drake would be very upset with you right now.
Anyway, so Brandon Day did get the victory over Will the Thrill, which listen, Will the Thrill he did some crazy moves, man. He jumped like over the top rope, he did tope suicidas, he was doing dives over the top rope. I thought for a second, I thought I was at like a Lucha Libre wrestling event. It was going crazy. Listen, he gave Brandon Day a run for his money, and Brandon Day didn't know what he was getting himself into. I mean, when you call anybody out from the back, Congo Kong could have walked through there. Shane Mercer could have walked through there. I mean, Madman Fong could have walked through there. Or who knows? Surge.
You can show that man's not afraid of nobody.
Anyone could have walked through
Rightfully
there.
so.
But Will the Thrill did not get the victory. Brandon Day did, which further establishes Brandon Day's dominance. He's been on a hell of a run. It was a hell of a 2024 for him. And,
he has been dominating just about everybody he's been going against.
Yeah, I mean he's tough. And listen, I mean when him and Paxton eventually do get in that ring,
maybe.
What are you trying to insinuate? Are you
trying to strip him because he keeps checking it out?
This was the first time.
Give it to Brandon Day.
No, Paxton Calloway is a fighting champion, and you know that.
He ain't there for that one.
This was the first time he's missed.
And then he conveniently got DQ'd.
Oh, okay. So here we go. Okay. Anyway, Brandon Day did get the victory, further establishes his dominance. We know what's next for him. He wants that World Heavyweight Championship. He wants to be a TBA Heavyweight title. He doesn't want anything else. But Will the Thrill, hey, he put on a hell of a performance. He was quite impressive. So I imagine, just based off of what I remember, Zero Gravity.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? I mean, maybe he's a tag team. Maybe he has a friend. Hey, maybe Surge. I don't know.
He'd
Just
probably
throwing
be
it
more
out there.
reliable than Bomani.
Okay, I set you up for that one. I shouldn't have said that. But I mean, maybe tag. Maybe he's a hardcore guy.
Yeah, he could.
I don't know. Or maybe he wants a rematch against Brandon. I don't know who would want a rematch against
I'll
Brandon.
say that would be a little goofy, but I mean, he was the one that accepted.
If he accepted
he
it,
may be a little goofy.
Well, I mean, listen, I don't know him, so I'm not going to call him goofy.
I said maybe. I don't know.
That's
the
on
guy. I'm supposed to know the guy. I just know that you see Brandon Day in the middle of a ring.
And you say, I
you
want to
don't
go
run
finish
out
him.
there. That's a little, that's a little goofy.
Questions your sanity for sure.
Yes.
So we know what's next for Brandon Day. Will it through? Who knows? He put on an impressive performance though, and I'm imagining that we will see him back.
Oh yeah, I hope we see him back
in some capacity. So
yeah.
So now it's time for the main event. This was the match that we had all been waiting for. This was a huge matchup. Jeff King, the newly crowned hardcore champion, who just had defeated Shane Douglas in order to get the title. We've seen him face Shane Douglas a couple times.
Yep.
We've seen him in that 4-on-4 fans bring the weapons match in Morris Hill. One of the best matches, and I mean this so sincerely, one of the best matches I've ever seen live. Not just Battle on the Border related, but I've been to some AEW and WWE events. It's one of the best matches I've ever seen.
I had to miss that one.
There was so much going on. It was an elimination style. It came down to two people, and it came down to Hooks and Jeff King. Now, Hooks was very upset that he was not involved in that matchup between Shane and Jeff King for the vacant hardcore title. He was very upset about that, and he made that very well known. And listen, that's the thing. That's what's kind of crazy is that at the last show, Morris Hill Mayhem, since we didn't review it, I'll kind of mention this. On the team was Benjamin Chimera, Ethan Evans, Amos returned.
Yeah, I heard that.
And Creed Costello was on their team. That was the 4. And then on the other team, you had Hooks, you had Sergeant Ledbetter, you had Hooks, Sergeant Ledbetter, you had Jeff King, and you had Creed Costello. That was the 4-on-4. So, Party Mike.
Sounds like a pretty good mix-up. Pretty good match.
A lot of. I mean, literally, Creed and Party Mike, the guys who might end up being a team together, were hitting each other with light tubes the show before. But anyway, Ethan Evans,
make up their mind.
Jeff King were hitting each other with weapons. Sergeant Ledbetter and Benjamin Chimera were hitting each other with weapons. It was a crazy. I mean, there was stuff exploding everywhere. There was blood everywhere. It was insane. It was one of the best matches I've ever seen. But the final two people, the only two people who didn't get pinned in the whole match, they were on the same team. That's Jeff King and Hooks. So that's why this match happened. These were the final two. And Hooks was upset that Jeff King got the title shot anyway, and he wasn't even involved in that. So Hooks is coming for that title. And listen,
guns blazing.
Hooks at this point, 2-time champion, looking to make it 3. We know what his opinion are about people in the past who have taken titles from him. One of them returned, being Amos. Amos returned at the Morris Hill show.
After disappearing.
Well, after disappearing. And had to vacate the title. And you turned on him. You're a huge fan. You were a huge fan of him and David Barnabas Spector and all their tricks, shenanigans, and.
Have you noticed that everybody that gets the hardcore championship don't defend it?
Well, that's the point.
It's nice to see Jeff King out there coming back to defend his title at least.
He's at least defending it. Yeah. And this was a match. Listen, if you know anything about these two, if you know anything about Jeff hasn't been in Battle on the Border for a very long time, but I think a lot of people know who Jeff King is.
Yeah.
In the crowd, the crowd loves him. They're mostly all related to him or friends with him. I mean, let's just be honest. He brings a hell of a crowd. They travel well. Jeff King, Hooks is usually, the fans are usually behind him. Fans are behind Jeff a little bit more. It's kind of split. The people who are there because of Jeff love Jeff. People who have been in Battle on the Border fans for a long time, maybe they're a little bit more behind Hooks.
Yep.
So this really was a split crowd. And if you know anything about these two, there's two things that these two have in common. They love to hit people with weapons, and they don't mind to bleed.
Well, they don't mind to bleed at all.
You know what we saw in this matchup? We saw blood, and we saw people hitting each other with weapons. It was a great matchup. These two, I mean, we haven't talked about the outcome yet, but I don't think this is the final time we'll see these guys wrestle each other. I don't think it will be.
At least I hope not. They make a good tag, or not tag team.
Well, they might.
They make a good hardcore tag team.
hey, I will tell you this: if Hooks and Jeff King become a tag team, I'm done training. I ain't getting it because I don't want to get anywhere close to that.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I mean, we talked about how tough Shane is earlier. You want to talk about Hooks and Jeff? I mean, Hooks. I mean, when you think about the hardcore division in Battle on the Border, you think of Hooks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's had it for
He's been champion
so long.
Yeah, he was champion for a while. And then when you think about hardcore now, Jeff King is really he's probably the second name, honestly.
Oh yeah, he easily climbed in that spot
as champion. He has the crowd behind him. He has the everything,
and he's willing to come out there and actually
defend the title, unlike other people who have beaten Hooks
run
titles
away
in the
with
past.
their tails between their legs.
So yeah, this was a great matchup. A lot of weapons. I mean, Jeff King's family. Angela, Missy. I feel bad for Angela and Missy. You have to watch their dad or her husband, depending on which one you see them
getting hit by
the punishment that man goes through. I mean, he's getting hit. And Hooks, I mean, he takes punishment just as well as he deals it out. Same with Jeff. I mean, honestly, his match could have went either way. There's one thing we haven't mentioned about this matchup that's a very important one, and that's that Sergeant Ledbetter is the special guest referee. Now that
was a little sketchy.
We talked about this in private because we didn't talk about the Morris Hill show, but we talked about this in private. You first off are not a huge fan of Sergeant Ledbetter.
No,
you've made that very clear. You don't trust him.
No.
You think he's sneaky.
Yes,
which is ironic considering that when he was actually being sneaky, you were a fan of that. But now that he's not being sneaky, you think he's sneaky. It's just kind of weird how your morals line up. But Sergeant Ledbetter did this because he wanted to make sure that he knew there was going to be bad blood. He knew there was going to be problems between these two, but he wanted to be the one to do this match. Questionable decision by Sergeant Ledbetter, because at some point in this matchup, Hooks spears him. Now,
oops.
There's going to be some people. There's going to be some people who wonder how that happened. Did Jeff King pull Hooks in front of him from where I was standing? Maybe. Did Hooks do it on purpose? Maybe. Honestly, it's really hard to tell because we know that Hooks and Sergeant Ledbetter are friends, but Hooks would do anything to get that title back. But Jeff King capitalized on it because when Hooks did it, he didn't look like he was happy that he did it. He looked like he maybe was a little bit shocked. But I wouldn't put it past Hooks to maybe think, hey, it doesn't matter. It's hardcore. There's no shenanigans. There's nothing you can do. But it's just
shenanigan now?
There's nothing.
Derek?
There's nothing. I'll be honest. There's nothing. You know what though? It did happen. Hooks did spear Sergeant Ledbetter, and one thing we didn't mention this, but we talked about earlier about Ethan Evans. We'll backtrack a little bit. We talked about Ethan.
Really?
Well, no, it's important to mention. Like I said, Ethan Evans earlier in the show got hit by all the weapons.
Yeah, you got the crap beat out of him.
Eliminated by Super Oprah in the Battle Royal. Mm-hmm. In this match, he makes an appearance.
Of course he does.
Ethan is somebody who he makes his appearance known. He really thinks highly of himself.
He is very self-centered.
He kind of is. It's interesting. I kind of thought you were going to be on his side.
No.
Really?
He's the annoying one.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't do the annoying ones. The ones that are too much.
Right.
You're just trying too hard.
Okay. Well, that makes what happens in this matchup great because he comes out at some point. This is exactly why Sergeant Ledbetter wanted to be the special guest referee. Listen, referees in Battle on the Border are great. All of them.
Oh, yeah.
But if a wrestler comes out, a lot of times they don't super kick the guy who comes out. Well, that's what Sergeant Ledbetter did. He super kicked Ethan Evans so hard. I thought his head. I thought, there's the soccer goals that were up. I was looking at the soccer goal thinking maybe his head went there. I mean, he lost some of his hair. Ethan Evans had some long hair. He came up with short hair when he was leaving. Tooth went flying. And I loved every second of it. I ain't gonna lie to you. I loved every gosh darn second. Every second of every single person getting in the hardcore or on the Hall of Fame when Super Oprah eliminated him, seeing him get super kicked. I absolutely loved it. I'm sorry I had to get that out of there. But anyway, the point is that Ethan Evans knew kind of the hardcore division here about On the Border. He made himself known.
How is he part of the hardcore division?
Oh, the dude can be hardcore. I seen him hit Jeff King I watched him get hit with a light tube, hit Jeff with a light tube, or with weapons. He was hitting everyone with weapons. Let me tell you something. Hardcore division might be one of the best. The women's division is stacked. The hardcore division is stacked. And Ethan, I'm not going to say he ain't hardcore. You weren't there.
Women's division.
You did. No, I'm saying women's division is stacked. Hardcore division is stacked.
Oh, it's stacked.
We don't talk about it enough.
But man, that guy's annoying.
Ethan, he's a little bit. I'm glad that I'm not the only one that thinks he's annoying.
No, I may be whatever. God, he is fucking annoying.
Well, anyway, it's important. We got to get back to this match. Hooks, Jeff King, great match. Ethan Evans though came out. Sergeant Ledbetter super kicks his head off at some point. This match is chaos. Sergeant Ledbetter gets speared. There's a lot going on, but then Hooks sees the opportunity, takes the opportunity, is able to capitalize on a distracted Jeff King. Jeff King, maybe, they just got hit with something. Like I said, it was a chaotic match.
Yeah,
there was a lot going on.
Mess.
But here's what I do know. What I do know is that by the time that Sergeant Ledbetter got back up, he counted 3, but Hooks was the one that had the pin on Jeff King, meaning that Hooks is now a 3-time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, Dan will let us know.
Oh, yeah.
But I believe he's now a 3-time hardcore champion.
Yep.
Jeff King loses the title. Very heartbroken moment. This is not a great night for me. I mean, listen, literally, Avery Hurts. I don't like the way he acts. The Dungeon. 2-on-1 in Hooks. Now, listen, I wasn't going to mention this, but after the match happened, I'm standing there by Angela, trying to console her. Her dad just lost. I'm her boyfriend. I'm trying to make sure she's okay. We're worried about her dad, making sure she's okay. I walk away, go make sure everything's okay, help you, get the microphone out of the ring, because Hooks did pay some respects to Jeff.
It was clean.
He said he would do whatever. It was. Thanks for that. Anyway, Hooks did give some respects to Jeff and said, whenever you want a title match again, I will do it again. You're a hell of a fighter. You're tough. He said, we'll run it back. Jeff said, we'll do it again. I grabbed the microphone. I'm helping you up. I come to find out that Hooks said he's going to whoop my ass.
It was nice knowing you, buddy.
What is that? What did I do to deserve that? I mean,
apparently
I got Ethan Evans attacking
somewhere.
Me. And now... So anyway, that's what I have.
You also have to, we'll go over funeral arrangements over some point,
it's like,
sometime.
What did I do? I mean, I feel like I talked pretty good about Hooks on here.
Apparently, you pissed him off somehow.
And now I'm being told that I'm going to get my ass whooped.
You were on the wrong end there, bud.
I was away. I was away. I didn't even hear him say it. And then I come to find out later, Angela's like, yeah, by the way, Hooks said he's going to kick your ass. And I'm like, well, thanks for defending me. I mean, what is she going to do?
What's she going to do?
She just said no. I'm like, okay.
She's going to do, just pull out a hammer from her back and start fighting.
Well, I mean, knife play. I don't know. It's just something. I don't know.
She can't do much.
You're right. But I'm just saying, Hooks.
You better hope Jeff you better hope Jeff likes you. You better fucking hope. You better be really nice to that man.
I'm just saying that my point is, I think maybe this is the point. Maybe this is why I upset him. But we've seen an attitude change from Hooks. He's a little bit
like it.
And this is kind of proof of that. I mean, he was getting in people's faces. I think he called somebody fat at the last show. Told a fat, awesome. He said, "Sit down, fat boy," or something. I could be wrong, but I believe I heard that. Like, we've seen an attitude change.
This was the hooks that I was waiting for.
And now he's champion. So, and listen, and one thing I will say about Hooks, no matter what, he will defend that title. There's nothing Hooks loves more than defending that hardcore title. I mean, if it was up to hardcore,
he might be like bleeding more.
True. He does.
That might be at the top.
If I was in a hardcore match with Hooks, I wouldn't make him bleed because I think that just makes him angry.
I think the title was just a bonus
for him.
I think him getting to bleed.
Yes. I don't think I've ever seen another human being bleed before as much as
I feel like if him and Jeff King just keeps getting into the ring together, we're gonna have to get medics on standby because both of them bleed.
I mean, I don't know what lengths they're going to be willing to go to. Jeff is the same way. I know Jeff a little on the outside. He's clotheslined.
You'll learn.
He's clotheslined me and elbowed me, and that was enough for me to say, you know what, I'm done. Let alone getting hit with a weapon from him.
If you don't know already,
Jeff King is going to go to whatever lengths he can to get that title back, and I know that for a fact.
If you don't know already, hardcore people are lunatics.
Yeah, I mean they kind of have to be, right? I mean they're willing to hit people with weapons, and they know that if they're getting in the ring, they're going to get hit with weapons, or the likelihood
and they're
is very
excited
high.
to be out there.
So anyway, yeah, that was the show. Hooks, new hardcore champion. Brandon Day defeated Will the Throw. Betty D defeated Emily Rose. Who knows what happened with the Battle Royal? The Dungeon defeated Eric Surge, and they're another new tag team champions. Paris McQueen defeated Ari Alexander. Avery Hurts defeated Justin Xavier to become the new Zero Gravity champion. Shane Douglas defeats Colt Johnson. That's the rundown of the show. It was a great show. It really was. I always look forward to New Year's Eve Bash. We'll be back again, New Year's Eve Bash at the end of 2025. But 2025 has a lot in store.
A lot.
There's a lot of shows coming up. I'm not at liberty to discuss what I've heard through the rumor mills. I mean, there's a lot of rumors going around about these shows that are coming up. But what I do know is that Sunman Showdown is next. That's personal for me. It's really great because we grew up in Sunman.
Yep.
I call it my hometown. I think you do too.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we
did go to grade school there.
We did. It's where we met. We became friends right down the road, at the Sunman Elementary School. So,
well, yeah.
It is our hometown. I'm very excited to be there, and there is a match card. Now, usually when we do these, we only have like 2 or 3. We have the whole match card.
Oh yeah, the whole damn thing.
By the time this comes out, it'll be a few days away. If you don't have your tickets, go down to the description. You can buy your tickets there. But here is the card that we are going to get to see. Of course, I'm going to ask who you think will win. I'll give my...
sure, they're going to be easy answers.
Wow. You heard him. All right, so first off, we have the women's division, Shauna Reed and Madison Payne. Now, first off, really cool that Shauna Reed is going to be defending the title in my hometown. What do you think? Now, Madison Payne, of course, she's been very impressive in her matches. Who do you think has this? I mean,
Shauna Reed.
I was going to say I got to go with Shauna. I like Madison Payne a lot.
She's got more time under her belt.
But here's the thing. Is David Barnabas Spector going to be involved?
I don't think it would matter.
You don't think so?
No, I personally don't.
Shauna just has the experience edge.
Yes.
And this is a student versus teacher match, basically. I mean, that's how this is.
Students never beat their teachers.
Well, hey, I've seen weirder things happen.
We'll see.
I'm just saying. I'm not counting out. I know not to count out Madison Payne. Also, in the women's division that night, we have Slam and Sammy. We talked about her earlier. She was in the Battle Royal. Like I said, the Battle Royal was also very chaotic, so it's hard to say. I don't really know a lot about Sam and Slammy, so I'm very excited she will be there, and she will be taking on Paris McQueen. Talboy will also be there.
That one's easy.
That is when we're... What is that supposed to mean?
Paris McQueen's going to take that all day long.
Because of Talboy?
No, because of her.
Oh my gosh. So, you know what? I'm going to go with Sam and Slammy.
Of course you would.
Well, because you know what? I hope Talboy. I'm going to talk...
Is it Slam and Slammy or
Slam
and Sammy?
Slam and Sammy, like the name.
You said Slam and Slammy.
I definitely didn't.
What the hell is a Slammy?
I definitely didn't say that. I definitely said Slam and Sammy.
Pretty good at the footage.
Slam and Sammy. Okay, Slam and Sammy, Paris McQueen. You think Paris, I think Sammy. But I mean, who knows? Like I said, I'm excited just to see the women's division grow once again. I mean,
well, that's 2 women's matches.
Yeah. That's the new normal. We had 2 in New Year's Eve batch. This is the new normal. We're gonna have 2.
Usually we barely get 1.
There was a time period where we didn't get 1. So it's great. In the heavyweight division, we have 2 more rivals. Now, they're also friends, but they're rivals. They faced off against each other in the 4-on-4 fans bring the weapons match. There's like a kind of a love-hate relationship going on between them. I think they respect each other, but I also think they hate each other. And that, of course, would be Sergeant Ledbetter and Benjamin Chimera. So I'm very excited about that. I'm going with Sergeant Ledbetter on this one.
Chimera.
Of course you are. Hey, this could go either way. I mean, this really could. I mean, any of these matches could go either way. I think Sergeant Ledbetter, he's been on a heck of a roll. He also had a really great He honestly had a great 2023 and 2024. I've talked about it before. He might be in line for a heavyweight title shot at some point. I really do think so. I mean, he's been on a heck of a roll.
It's been a while. I don't think we've seen him go for heavyweight, have we?
I don't think so. Or if so, it's been a while. In the tag team division, we have Paxton Calloway and Party Mike taking on The Dungeon. The Dungeon, of course, are tag team champions. Paxton Calloway and Party Mike are 2
That is an interesting combo.
Now, we've seen Paxton Calloway before tag with Justin Xavier, I believe
That was even more of an interesting combo.
Remember at one point he threw Justin Xavier out of the ring? I think it was Justin Xavier. I might be wrong about that. But, yeah, so Paxton's actually, like... If he gets in the tag team division, the tag team division better watch out. But I'm gonna pick Paxton Calloway and Party Mike here.
No, there's no way.
Okay, so you're picking the Dungeon. Shocker.
100%.
Zero Gravity division, we have the championship is up for grabs. Avery Hertz and TJ Fury. I'm gonna go. I'm hoping TJ Fury wins. But if David Barnabas Spector's out there, I mean, maybe the edge goes to Avery Hertz.
Avery Hertz has got it.
Well, why did you do that little laugh thing? We've seen TJ. We know TJ Fury is extremely talented.
Yeah, but we see a new Avery Hertz, and he ain't afraid of nothing.
Well, I'm not saying he's afraid. I'm just saying TJ Fury. Listen, he might be. He might.
I wouldn't mess with Avery Hertz.
He might shock some people. I think TJ Fury. He could easily.
Oh, I didn't say he wasn't talented.
No, well, I know.
But
I'm just
man, Avery Hertz is showing a new side of him.
Right.
That he's not playing games anymore.
No. That's true.
So
you're right. But yeah, that match is also very interesting because they fought at Morris Hill, and so they've had a match before.
Yeah,
Everybody's got the win there.
Yep.
So TJ Fury's gonna keep that in the back of his mind. I think he knows to keep his eyes open. Also, in a Zero Gravity division matchup here, we have Marion Fontaine taking on Paul Hubris, who is from Scotland. He's making his BOTB debut.
I do not know him, but I like Marion Fontaine, and I like his music.
He does like great music. He looks like Freddie Mercury. He comes out to Queen. He's very talented.
Go with that, yeah.
He defeated Gaston Leroux in Versailles. Then later on that night at Armageddon, he lost to Benjamin Chimera, I believe. If I'm not right, I'm sorry. But yeah, so I know him. I don't know Paul Hubers. So just off of that alone, I'm going to say Marion Fontaine. But Paul Hubers is from Scotland, zero gravity guy. I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm excited.
We'll find out.
I'm excited to see another division grow. The tag team division is growing now. Or
the tag's been growing.
The zero gravity division is growing. The women's.
I remember when the zero gravity first got started.
There was a tournament. Remember Carson Drake was in it?
Yeah, there was
Justin.
Not very many people.
Yeah, Justin, Jaden Jett, Avery Hertz,
and that blew up.
Yeah. So that. It's going to be a great match. Though hardcore division, we have the champion Hooks taking on the former champion Amos. Now, we know that Hooks and Amos do not like each other. Amos, at one point, renamed the title.
Who keeps bringing that guy back?
David Barnabas Spector.
We just drop him.
Well, I like to see you tell Amos that to his face.
Well, I would tell David Barnabas Spector to drop Amos.
Whoa, okay. Well,
why in the hell would that...
Well, I'm just saying, I like you just say tell Amos, like, I hope David Barnabas Spector drops you.
I hope David Barnabas Spector drops you.
Oh, you think he watches? So, I mean, I guess I'm surprisingly here you're going with Hooks.
I'm surprised he's there.
Well, we'll see. I mean, we've seen him before.
He may not show up.
We've seen him before. You know
his
left
track record with Hooks.
I mean, he dropped the title because he wouldn't show up. So, yeah, I mean, will he be there? That's the question.
And you're surprised I'm going with Hooks.
Well, just because I know you liked at one point.
He's finally turning a new leaf. I like it.
No, that's true. And then, of course, in the
I might get to watch him kick your ass.
Hey, listen, folks, I don't know.
That's gonna be funny.
I don't know why I don't know if it's just trying to get to the. And Ethan has also done the same thing where he's threatened to beat my ass on multiple occasions. I don't know what I've done to piss people off. Already. I just talk about wrestling. I just report it I just call it as I see it. I'm just doing what I can to make Battle on the Border as great as possible, and I'm getting threatened from Ethan, which I mean, who cares? But Hooks. I think he said that just to get.
I got a pretty big shovel out there. I'll start digging.
All right, and then also in another match, this is a match that I'm very excited about. We have Jeff King taking on Ethan Evans. That match is important.
I'm excited for that match.
I can't wait to see Jeff King destroy that guy, Ethan Evans. I can't wait.
You know he's gonna be talking a lot of crap out there, right?
Ethan?
Yeah.
Well, it's the only thing he does, and he does it okay, I guess.
I wonder if eventually he's gonna buy a cow.
Buy a cow?
Yeah.
Why would he buy a cow?
Because he has enough shit to talk to get him.
I'll tell you, I'm very excited about this show. Summit Showdown is going to be great. 2 hardcore matches, 2 women's matches, 2 zero gravity matches, heavyweight match between Sergeant Ledbetter and Benjamin Chimera.
That's going to be a good matchup.
I'm extremely excited about this show. It's going to be great. So make sure you go down to the link in the description below to buy your tickets. Please show up. I know for some of you guys, it's kind of a far drive, but please make it out. We would very much appreciate it.
Small town.
It's a
Make sure you find a spot.
It's a great venue. In fact, there will actually be a video coming out very soon. Stay tuned to social media accounts for that. That will include a segment in it that helps you explain how to get to the venue and what to look for.
Are you doing the explanation?
I am doing the explanation.
Oh my god!
No,
you go over the tracks.
No
pizza place.
No.
The first room.
It's going to be a video of me actually going to the venue and showing you what to do.
Okay.
It's going to be actual video evidence.
So you're actually going to show them and
showing them.
Because you explain it. Holy shit! You guys would be going. You guys would be going to the pizza place across the street, and then down to their local gas station, back up to get some chicken, and then you might find the place.
No, it's gonna be an actual video, asshole. It's gonna be a video of me walking and explaining what you can see and how to get to the building, where to park. Because people who went to the show last year, parking was a little bit of an issue, but we have got it solved. We got it solved. I know where I got the information on where to park. I'm going to explain to people where you can and cannot park. It's going to be a great show. We need to pack the house for this place. I'm super excited about it. Which match are you most excited for? Do you remember the matches?
Yeah. Hooks.
Yeah. I'm excited for Jeff King and Ethan Evans just because, I need to see Ethan Evans get his... I mean, I'm surprised he found his head
Jeff King bringing some pretty cool weapons.
I don't know. What do you think I know? Do you think Jeff King gives me his... Listen, I don't know anybody's game plan.
I don't know.
I try to ask everybody's game plan. You think just because I'm dating his daughter, you think he's just going to tell me now, like, oh, here's my game plan for the match?
Well, maybe you got some insight.
I help him put together a couple weapons.
Oh, that's cool.
Right?
That's really cool.
Right, it is cool. All right. That's going to be it for this. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment in the comment section
if you
below.
want to, of course.
And be sure to subscribe, share with your friends and family, share on Facebook, X, wherever you want to.
If you want to.
I would say that you can follow us on TikTok, but by the time this comes out,
TikTok will be gone.
TikTok will be gone. So I'm not going to say that. But you can follow me on Twitter, DJDub00. You can follow us on Instagram, _D_podcast. And just in case it is still a thing, because I think there is a small chance in the world that it is, you can follow us on TikTok at the Double D Podcast 1.
We have an email, doubledpodcast123@gmail.com. You can give us any ideas you want. I do check it regularly.
Mm-hmm. Have we ever gotten any?
We have not gotten any emails.
Square Circle
We've
Expo?
gotten spam.
Oh, that's good.
We've gotten a lot of spam.
Have we replied to that?
No.
What kind of spam is it?
Just like a bunch of random shit.
We should talk about the spam on the. We
I'll
should do a whole episode.
Right down
a whole episode one time will just be us talking about the spam emails that we get in our podcast inbox. Squared Circle Expo is the April 25th and 26th. We will be there along with the Battle on the Border table, so be sure to join us there.
If you don't want to talk to this guy, you don't have to. You talk to me.
You can talk to, well, you should probably instead maybe talk to our guests, Congo Kong, Rob Conway.
Well, yeah, obviously they're going to talk to the guest, but you got to at least say hi to us, too.
Yeah, just do a little, hey.
Like shit. But if you don't want to wave to him, you can wave to me. You ain't got to wave to this guy.
Why would anyone want to wave to you?
He's just there.
If they wave to you, you'd probably flip them off.
Because I'll be sitting there like this.
Yeah, you would. You probably would, you weirdo. It's gonna be a great time. There's a lot of great names. I mean, just off the top of my head, some of the other people that are gonna be at Square Circle Expo, yeah, like Mick Foley, Jim Ross.
I need to bring some cash.
Bret Hart.
I need to bring some cash.
I mean, and that's just the 3 names that came to the top of my head. You can go. You know what? Like I said, Square Circle Expo link for the.
You may not be able to wave at me because I may have to disappear to a couple other booths real quick.
You're gonna go mark out. You're gonna go say hi to all the wrestlers. I'm very excited for it. So, I think if that's it, then I guess we'll see you guys next. Oh, it's important to note we do have some interviews coming out. We already announced that Paris McQueen and Talboy will be interviewed at Sunman, so we'll get a quick interview with them,
which would be in person, which would be super cool.
Yep, I'm very excited about that. And so be sure to look out for that. I don't know what the schedule for the shows will be in the future. We should start maybe telling people what to expect. I do believe the plan as of this moment is to currently, hopefully, have the Sunman review out first, and then we will have 3 interviews. Paris McQueen and Talboy are one of them. There are 2 surprises that we have for you. I'm just going to say that they're 2 hardcore guys. Take your pick of which ones they are. Comment down below who you believe they will be. But there are 2 people in the hardcore division that we may or may not have mentioned on this episode. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. That we are interviewing as well, that those will be coming out the following weeks, leading up to New Beginnings in Moro, Ohio.
Which is super exciting.
I believe February 22nd. Does that sound right to you, Darren? February 22nd, do you know?
I don't think he released that yet.
He didn't, but I have it down here. But it doesn't matter. No one watches the end of these videos.
I don't think he released that yet.
No one watches the end of these videos anyway. We're an hour and 27 minutes in. People probably listen to us to go to sleep. We probably bore them so much that they fall asleep to or maybe we have such great voices to fall asleep to. You know, also comment down below what you think about my haircut, because I like it. You know, just thought I'd get that out there before. I want to know what people think. I love it. I love it now. I didn't like it at first. You know, I don't miss the long hair though.
Long hair don't care.
Right. All right, we're out of here. We're starting to talk about random things. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time
on the Double D Podcast.